There is a quiet question that lives in the hearts of many, sometimes whispered in the dark, sometimes spoken in frustration, sometimes hidden behind polite faith. Does God still perform miracles today? Or were miracles only for another time, another world, another generation? We read about seas parting, walls falling, blind eyes opening, and the dead rising. We hear of fire from heaven and voices from clouds. And then we look at our own lives, at hospital rooms, at unanswered prayers, at long nights of waiting, and we wonder if heaven has grown silent. It is not a rebellious question. It is a human one. 2,000 years ago, people also asked it, though in different words. They watched Jesus walk their dusty roads. They saw him heal and teach and forgive. And even then, some said, "Show us a sign." Even then, some doubted. Even then, some hoped. And some were afraid to hope, because hope, when disappointed, hurts more than doubt ever could. Imagine standing at the edge of a crowded street in ancient Judea. The sun is high. The air is thick with dust and voices. You hear that a rabbi from Nazareth is coming. Some say he teaches like no one else. Some say he heals. Some say he speaks as if God himself is listening to him and answering. A blind man sits by the roadside. He has heard these rumors too. For years, darkness has been his only companion. He cannot see the sky. He cannot see the faces of those who pass him. He cannot see his own reflection. But today, something in him refuses to stay quiet. He begins to cry out, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." People tell him to be quiet, to stop making a scene, to accept his place, but he cries out even louder and Jesus stops. Not because the crowd is impressive, not because the moment is convenient, but because one broken human being dared to believe that God had not stopped being God, and the blind man sees. That story is not only about eyesight. It is about what happens when divine compassion meets human desperation. But here is the deeper question we must face. Was that compassion only for then, or is it still alive now? The Bible never presents God as a God who changes with the seasons. It presents him as a God who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. The same God who spoke light into darkness in Genesis is the God who walked among men in the Gospels. And he is the same God who reigns now, even when we cannot see his hand. Yet many quietly believe that miracles ended with the apostles, that the age of wonder has closed, that heaven has, in some mysterious way, become more distant. But Scripture tells a different story. In the book of Acts, after Jesus ascends, something remarkable happens. The miracles do not stop. They multiply. Ordinary men, fishermen, tax collectors, former doubters begin to live in the power of a God who is very much still at work. A lame man is healed at the temple gate. Prison doors open in the night. Hearts of stone are turned into hearts of flesh. And entire cities are changed not by political power, not by force, but by the quiet, unstoppable movement of the Spirit of God. And this was never described as a temporary phase of God's character. It was described as the continuation of his work. When Peter stands before the crowds and explains what is happening, he quotes the prophet Joel. In the last days, God says, "I will pour out my Spirit on all people." Not some, not a few. All. The last days did not mean a short window of time. In biblical language, it means the age that begins with Christ and continues until his return. That is the age we are still living in. So if God said he would pour out his Spirit in this age, why would we assume he has stopped? But here we must be honest and gentle with our own hearts. Miracles in the Bible were never party tricks. They were never entertainment. They were never promised on demand.